What's up, my Finland loves? It's Miss Finland D coming to you all from Vienna Entertainment News.
Happy New Year. Yes, I missed every single one of you. I've read the comments, I've seen the messages, the DMs, and all of that. For those of you who follow this channel and Instagram page, then you saw my message on Instagram for the reason why, I didn't post yet on YouTube. And also there is a community tab on YouTube. I did post an adorable picture of Brooklyn Kenya Moore from the Real Housewives of Atlanta daughter, and I also explained the reason why I was taking a few days off. Okay, well, I'm back. However, when you take a few days off, you're going to be behind. So I'm basically updating on things that I watch, during my break. And one of the things that I caught up on during my break was Married to Medicine. So I am going to talk about, part 1 and 2 of the reunion of Married to Medicine. I might slide in, some of the other episodes that I watched because I was, I think, 3 or 4 episodes behind. So I sat down and I watched all of them, including part 1 and part 2 of the reunion. So I'm going to focus just on the reunion, but I also might add, some things that I did not like in the last 2 or final episode. Okay. Now, before I do all that, thank you all for your love and support. I say that all the time, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I really and sincerely do appreciate every single one of you. So thank you. I'm wishing all of you a prosperous new year. Before I talk about the reunion just by itself, Lisa Nicole, for those of you who are not aware, Lisa Nicole was a lady who was on Married to Medicine with her husband and her family, okay? And it just got really toxic for her. And she said that she chose to leave, even though people claim she was fired. She said, no, that's not the case. She chose her family. It was getting too much, and she chose her peace, and she chose to leave. When Lisa Nicole was on Married to Medicine, she did say her husband cheated on her a few times, okay? And, they were working on their marriage and all of that. Now, Lisa talked about her husband issues way before any of the ladies on the show, talked about their marital issues as far as the, cheating department. This was before Dr. Jackie and her husband went through their situation where he cheated. This was before, Simone and her husband went through their situation where they almost got a divorce, and then of course, Mariah, in trying to help Jackie, told her that years ago, before Married to Medicine, all of that she and Aiden had, their moment where he stepped out. However, they were able to work through it. She later on came on Facebook and Instagram during one of her reviews and said it wasn't a sexual thing. It was, sending inappropriate, text messages. And she also considered that cheating. And also it was before, and then of course, way before Quad and her husband revealed that they were having marital issues, and now Quad is divorced. So when Lisa Nicole told her story, the ladies were very critical to the point where it was mean, especially Jackie, because Jackie been on this pedestal for a long time. So, she was cool and laid back, but you could still hear her little slick remarks and things, that she said towards Lisa. It's like, when it's not happening to you, it's very easy sometimes for you to have so much to say. Fast forward, here we are years later. Jackie's husband cheated, and who's still with her husband? Jackie. But if I can remember clearly, Jackie was like, if my husband cheats or doing all of the things your husband's doing, I'm not staying. I'm done. I mean, she was just talking about how strong she is and how a woman should be. And if your husband disrespected you like that, you should leave. But here we are. Jackie is still with Curtis. Okay. So there you go. You never know how you're going to react when you're in that situation. But she was very steadfast in leave that man who cheated on you. And hey, so anyways, so Lisa is basically, this message is not just for Quad. It's for all of them, okay? But since Quad, was the one that she really had issues with, they had some deep rooted issues that almost got physical, and lies were told, and so much that we're going to get into as I talk, that I can clearly see why she went after Quad and not Jackie and everyone else. I promise I'm going to get to what Lisa had to say, but she was all over the place with her tweets that I still have to break a few things down. Amongst all of the mess that she and Quad went through, background checks, lies, almost getting into a physical altercation and all of that, Quad was having an event, okay? And this guy just randomly walked up on the scene, starts talking to Quad, and then the camera just happens to be there. And this guy started saying that, of course I'm gay, and, I had an affair allegedly with Lisa Nicole's husband. Okay? So the problem here is that, okay, Quad, sure, because on the reunion that came up. Like, sure, Quad, you're having an event, and a random guy got into the event. Pat's security and everybody happens to find you to have this conversation about Lisa's husband, and the camera just happens to be there, and y'all was recording, and he was mic'd and everything. Like, girl, bye. Okay? So Lisa is also going to talk about that as well. So let's get into the message that, Andy read to Quad from Lisa, and also what she had to say as far as, well, what she tweeted, because she was on Twitter, and then people were also responding on Twitter. So let's get into that. Quad, how do you feel now after accusing my husband of cheating? Now your husband cheated. Quad responded, I got the courage to do what she didn't, okay? I divorced him. This comment, there's a big difference. Quad does not have kids with that man, but Lisa has a whole 2 kids. Lisa loved him, and Quad didn't love that man. I don't like mess, but child, karma is a B word. I haven't said much at all, but I have been watching all the ladies do with the stones they threw. For the record, Quad, marriage is work, and it takes a hell of a lot of strength to stay and do the work, to make it work. Hashtag married to medicine. Lisa married out of love, and despite it all was ready to fight for her marriage with kids involved. On the other hand, what could be in Quad's marriage that she was ready to fight for? No love, no kids. Quad used that man for fame, period. Ooh, you're out here reading, Quad. Well, Quad, there's a difference. You didn't love your husband, and Lisa does. You knew what you were there for from the get-go, and Dr. Greg was too smitten to see it. Ooh, No, Quad, that's not courage. It's called jumping at the perfect opportunity to leave a man you did not love. Unlike Lisa, who truly loves her husband, even though she should have stayed out of this one. Oh, y'all going to church. Now listen, I know most of us say this. If this happened to me, I want to stay in all of that. But at the end of the day, I see both sides, okay? I see both sides. If the marriage, if the relationship is toxic, absolutely leave. No, but if you feel like it's toxic, but with counseling and doing the work, it's possible for the both of you to work through it and come out on the other side. Do your thing, as long as there's no, abuse going on, emotional and verbal and all of those things. Yes, those are abuse. It doesn't only have to be physical, okay? I'm just saying, when 2 people recognize that they are willing to fight for something, then do your thing. Will I stay after the guy cheated a few times? Absolutely not. I know Jackie said the same thing and she stayed. I'm just saying, my personal opinion, no. But I do see both sides. As far as staying for the kids, and they can grow up and 2 things could happen. They will grow up
some kids grow up with resentment. I can't believe y'all allow us to grow up in such a toxic environment. We were not happy. Our childhood was a mess because y'all were always arguing and so on and so forth. Or mom and dad could really work it out to the point where there's love again, there's happiness, and the kids can also see the example of, what, my mother and my father been through so much, but guess what? They did not give up on each other, and for that, they are an amazing role model and example. So either way, depending on how the resolution is, it's a win-win. But I do see Quad's point. I also do see the people who left comments, points about, Quad using her husband for a come up and she didn't love him. And, had she just left the marriage and people were going to drag her. So the moment she felt like she had a window of opportunity to be like, okay, he cheated, so I left, she jumped at it. Whatever the case might be, Lisa and Nicole made a lot of valid points because they dragged her marriage. They dragged her. So, good points. I'm wishing Lisa the best. Even after the show, her husband was still making the blogs. Okay, there were tapes, recordings, and all types of stuff out there. So even after the show, I'm just going to say allegedly, it didn't stop. But hey, she chose to stay. So who am I to tell someone, hey, leave your marriage? I'm just saying I want to do it, but she's the only one who knows what goes on in her household as far as behind closed doors. And if she's willing to work through it, do your thing. I'm not here to judge anyone or tell them how to handle it, but I absolutely see everybody points on social media. Sometimes they work out in favor of the kids, and sometimes it doesn't. But at the end of the day, I'm wishing everyone the best. Now, Lisa didn't stop there. She had more that she tweeted, so let me get into those. Now, something on the reunion really got on my nerves, and I'm going to talk about it, as we continue to chat about this, but Heavenly got on my nerve. I mean, it was so bad to the point where Annie had to tell her to hush it. Like, I was kind of embarrassed for her. And when I tell you, when her people, the girls, were telling her, Heavenly, be quiet and, being nice about it, she kept going. But when Masa said, hush it, when I tell you she was like, yes, Masa, and hush it, I just felt embarrassed. Like, oh, you couldn't hush it for the other people. Now, I will say, though, she's up under Jackie. So when Jackie told her to be quiet, she had to say it a few times, but she respects Jackie on a different level, so she did. She was quiet. But I'm telling you, when Annie said hush it, ooh, she was like, okay, hush me. So she got my nerves. So this is what Lisa had to say about Heavenly and Jackie relationship. Okay, Lisa wrote, Jackie, be careful. It's only a matter of time before Heavenly turns on you. She will do whatever the producers tell her to do to keep her spot. Trust me, her friendships are very strategic. This is very true. Okay, let me just jump right into it. I'm all over the place. But look, Heavenly became friends with Quad because they had a common enemy, Mariah, right? She didn't become friends with Quad because she liked that girl and all of that. She's just friends with her because of Mariah. Because let me tell you this right now, okay? If I'm being accused of sleeping with a married man, okay, and I feel like my character, my reputation, all of those things are taking a hit, and I'm fighting to prove that that did not happen, okay? That it didn't happen. And you were my friend during this time, and you saw my tears, and you saw how angry I was. Then why would you, as my friend, come on national television and say, oh, by the way, Quad F Common, who's in a relationship? So you doing that, joking or not, you've added to the narrative. Now people are seeing a pattern. First it was a married man, now Common, who at the time was dating Angela Rye. Okay, so your friends don't do that. And also watch out for those friends who constantly shade you and say, I'm joking. They're not joking, okay? So, yeah, hey, it's your friend, then turn around and say your butt is fake. Then she laugh it off and say it's a joke. Now, if I watch part 3 and Heavenly comments about her relationship is not perfect, her marriage is not perfect, but it's perfect than yours, if she was talking to Quad, oh, Quad, that's not your friend. She could have said it to Dr. Jackie, but I don't think so. If Quad, if that was to you, yeah, walk away. She don't call your butt fake. She claimed you slept with Common, and then you are still crying and want us to believe that you were and are devastated that your marriage ended, but this was to be your friend, and then she shaded your marriage. Oh, girl, that is not your friend, and open your eyes. You can't be so deep into this alliance, and I have to, keep people in my corner that you are ignoring that she's not your friend. Especially, I'm sure Quad have shared a lot with Heavenly, her secrets and things like that. So, girl, watch out. That is not your friend, okay? So Lisa also addressed the police report in, when she was talking about staging. Let me read that tweet again just in case you guys forgot it. Wait, we know Quad stages ish. She definitely lies, and for the record, the police report confirms what Mariah said about Lake's husband. That was in your background check, boo. Basically, one of the major issue between Lisa and Quad was that she did a background check on Quad. Quad felt like if we are building a relationship or friendship or whatever it is, that was just too invasive to do a background check when the information is out there, Quad, okay? Anybody could get it, all right? And so they met up to have a conversation, and then it almost got physical. All right, so if you notice, every time someone is about to expose Quad or discuss something that she doesn't want to be on TV, she starts to scream. It works every time. As she's screaming, Andy gets confused. He's trying to calm her down. They cut to break. By the time they come back and get everybody back to where it was, he forgot what point he was trying to make, and he moves on. She did the same thing to her ex-husband. This whole situation with Mariah's sister was, Mariah's point was, don't make it look like I just randomly lie on you. There's a police report from years ago proving that you and my sister did get in a fight. That yes, the police was called. I actually have the police report in front of me, and I'm reading from it, but it's not on the screen because it's gone through so many different screenshots that is very blurry, but I can read it, okay? But when I try to put it in the video, it just didn't work out. But basically, the police report, in summary, Quad and Mariah's sister did have a fight, but when the police showed up, everything Mariah said is true in a police report, but no one was arrested because it was basically her word against Quad and vice versa. And because they didn't have no, visible scratches and, blood or, things like that would lead the cops to say, okay, this person is bleeding, this person have wounds on them, I'm arresting you. And it was like, you say, I say, they say. The cops left them with a warning and wrote up a police report. So that's all Mariah was saying. That, girl, don't pretend like I'm just pulling this out of nowhere. It happened. So what Mariah should have done was, yes, the police report, I brought you copy for you to read for yourself, and then just sat there and let Annie do his job. But the moment Mariah mentioned police report, that girl started screaming, and it worked. Andy got distracted. They moved on to a different topic. At this point, I think we are all over the whole
drug situation. Quad wants to sit there and lie. Mariah was vindicated. No one, have seen her do drugs. The people who's been in her life for over a decade, and even Simone and everyone stood up for her. Of course, they didn't want to make it look like they were picking a side, so no one were like, okay, yes, we believe that Quad slept with a married man. Whatever the case might be, Buffy did pick a side though. She was like, I'm Team Mariah. But anyways, the doctors on there confirmed that, her tests were valid, and that's all that matters, okay? And what I said stands, okay? Quad did not go after production. So these people don't care. Y'all can drag each other, beat each other up, cuss each other, and they will be laughing all the way to the bank, okay? When you try to drag them in your mess, that's when they're going to show you who Master is and fire you. So because Quad is going after Mariah, that's why Quad is still on that show. Had Quad said a producer put it in her ear like Phaedra Parks, she would have gotten fired, because now you are messing with the integrity of our producers and the network and all of that. Now you are a liability and you gotta go. So that's why Quad is still there. For the people asking how come Phaedra Parks was fired and not Quad, when Phaedra Parks was caught up in her lie about Candy and his whole alleged rape allegations, she wasn't going to sit there on national television and incriminate herself. So she then said, well, I heard it from someone and I repeated it. And then later on said a producer on the show put that in her ear. Now you are dragging us into it. And I think it's disgusting, but oh well, let's put it to rest. Mariah, don't allow that girl to hold on to you anymore. She's no longer married to medicine. Let her find her own storyline with the other girls and make it work, and let's see how long it's going to last, because at this point she's literally hanging on to you for dear life as far as a storyline, because there you go, you took the drug test, everything is done, your name was cleared. What did she say? Let's take a lie detector test. That's something that's going to be dragged into the next season of the both of you taking the test, and then someone goes and tamper with the test. Next thing you know, seasons later, we're still talking about this. So let her find her own storyline and you move on, mama. So that's that with Mariah and Quad situation. Heavenly, the show did an entire replica of Toya Closet. That's how major it is. So it doesn't matter how many stories you add to yours, it will never compare. Stop being bitter. Envy and jealousy is not always about being materialistic, okay? You can have everything and still be jealous at someone because their vibe is just amazing. They walk in a room and everyone just gravitates towards them, and it's like your money or everything else doesn't compare. Your money, your fancy clothes, the big house, none of that can buy that type of vibe that someone who's not on your level have. You know what I'm saying? So when people say people are jealous and envious, it's not always about what you have as in material things. Heavenly just have a mean spirit. Okay, yes, as adults, we should have our homes, pay our own bills, do our thing. But sometimes life happens. So when life happens to people and they are able to pull themselves up, okay, and bounce back, just say congratulations. You don't have to be so hateful. Oh my gosh, that stuff is not paid for. The way how she was going in on Toya and her husband, I was just like, wow, like just disgusting. I am not here for her at all. I understand this is reality TV and people have to do whatever to keep their spot, but she just have this terrible spirit about her. That is the complete opposite of her name. So I wasn't here for that. I didn't like the part when they flashed back and was basically, talking to Contessa about her, also coming for Toya and Eugene in the financial department. And she said, Toya and her husband Eugene been living like refugees. I did not like that part at all. Okay, so a refugee is a person who has been forced to leave their country in order to escape war, persecution, or natural disasters. Okay? That's the actual definition of a refugee. Yes, you can say a displaced person, an escapee. There are other definitions, but that's the core definition of a refugee. Toya and Dr. Eugene, who are financially stable and able people, were not and are not refugees. As a survivor of 2 civil wars and someone who's experienced what being a refugee actually is, that was just distasteful, especially coming from someone who's been in the army and I'm sure have also witnessed certain things. I'm just like, okay, I understand y'all shade each other, but girl, so I'm not going to drag that too much. Let's take it back to Quad when basically Dr. Simone was like, she and her husband still hang out, well, with Dr. G, and, he now, have a very attractive girlfriend. I was like, look at Simone. Okay, you better let it be known that his girlfriend is attractive. But I thought Quad played it off well. She was like, she made it by herself again. So I thought it was slick. She was like, look at me. His wife, ex-wife, was and is attractive. So why wouldn't he have an attractive girlfriend? If that wasn't the case, then it would be a downgrade. I was like, okay, way to bring it back and make it about you. So, that was cool. But it's nice to see that, there are people on the show who are still keeping in touch with him. I just wish, I know they're being loyal to Quad and all of that. And maybe Dr. G himself said, you know what? I don't want to do the show, but who knows? He might come back in the future. You never know. Okay, so we shall see.
Simone and Jackie, I'm glad that they talk. I already talked about me not being here, with Heavenly constantly interrupting, not even giving Jackie a chance to talk. Jackie and Simone relationship would never ever be the same as long as Heavenly is around. Simone would never trust Jackie on that level because she knows that Heavenly is her friend. I do like, Someone threw a little shade when she was like, Jackie loved to fix people. She's a fixer, and she fixes people who are broken. Basically saying that Heavenly is broken and Jackie is a fixer. So that was that. And Simone and her husband are doing great. All of the back and forth and the mess with Heavenly and the both of them almost fighting and all of that, we're going to see more in part 3. Yeah, they both said something to each other, but I did say it. I said that both of them needed a storyline and that Simone was holding on to that situation. But when you decide to do that, then just know that sometimes it's not going to go the way that you want it to go. And as you can see, now it's getting, bad. Listen, Heavenly, when you know someone have dirt on you, you might want to pipe down, okay? Because Simone knows some things. She only talked about the drinking part and kept it there, but she knows some things because Heavenly went from my marriage is perfect, my man is God, basically, to I never said my marriage was perfect. I just said compared to some of your marriages. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're changing things now. So we're going to see more of their fight. But I'm glad that Simone and Jackie hugged it out. I don't know why Simone thought Andy wasn't going to repeat what happened in the dressing room when he walked up to her and she said, who would you choose, Heavenly? Simone probably just feel like, come on, girl, 20 plus years friendship. Why is she even in the conversation, in the equation? Like, it should be an easy situation. But hey, whatever it is, they will figure it out. Now let's talk about Jackie apologizing to Buffy. Hey, Buffy accepted the apology, so that's all that matters, okay? I didn't like how, once again, Heavenly kept jumping in. Buffy threw shade at her teeth. I get it. I mean, you're a dentist and your teeth looks like that. So Buffy talked about her wearing dentures, and she talked about Buffy, butt being big. She threw shade back, whatever. Then she tried to post this before and after and admitted to having lipo. Heavenly. Basically people accuse her of doing that and she didn't deny it. So there you go. Just basically saying, listen, I didn't go to the gym, guys. I went to the doctor. So that's that. But I didn't like how she was coming at Buffy at all. And then this picture right here, like Jackie pulled Buffy aside to talk to Buffy, and Heavenly is not even giving her any privacy. Like, she's like looking like, girl, back off, like back. You know what I'm saying? Since when did you become Jackie bodyguard? Oh, it's just a weird relationship between those two, but whatever. Buffy talked about the surrogate. I already did a video on that. That was that. Contessa, listen, this is not the reunion part, but you guys, I said in the beginning that I had to go back and watch all of the episodes that I missed. The way how she was so aggressive and screaming at Buffy in the closet, it was just like, what are you doing? I understand what she was trying to do, but not in that moment. Yes, there are moments where you have to snap your friends out of it. Let them know who they are and remind them of who they are. But you and Buffy are not friends on that level. And there are times where you have to understand what's going on. There are moments where people don't want to hear "I told you so" or screams and stuff. There are times where people simply need you to be quiet, listen to them, and be nice. So that moment wasn't the moment for her to be aggressive and all of that, okay? This video is already too long, okay? So I'm about to end it, but there's a few things that I wrote down that I want to touch on that I didn't talk about during the review. Okay, so Mariah, is now on YouTube and she's doing her own review. So, she has some things to say. She talked about the reason why she wore pink, and she jokingly said that she didn't know that everyone was coming dressed for death. She's so funny. And then, when she was talking about her sister and Quad's situation, someone, I think it was her sister, and someone in the room talked about Quad breaking up her marriage. It was her sister. Her sister said, Quad broke up her marriage. And I love how real Mariah is, okay? She said straight up, absolutely not. That girl did not break up your marriage. You can't put all the blame on her, and that's real. No one can come in and steal your man, break up your marriage. You have to take some fault in that, or you have to blame the person who decided to step out and cheat on you, okay? You can't just put it all on the other woman, allegedly. So I like that Mariah kept it real, okay? I also like how when Quad was angry and just going in, and how calm Mariah was. You can tell who's over the situation, have let it go, and who's just doing too much. Mariah said, God bless you. Don't tell me God bless me. I was like, ooh, girl. So you can tell Mariah was like, God love us all. Yes. Like, she was very calm. I love that exchange. Like, Quad, slow down, mama, before you end up in the hospital. This girl over here, she's let it go. You lied on her. She's let it go. She's calm. Calm down. Okay, so that exchange I didn't talk about. I also like that Toya corrected Jackie. When Jackie tried to basically make an example of a friend doing something inappropriate or saying something, and yet, she still tolerated her friend being friends with that person, right? She said when Toya sat in her husband's lap, Toya said, your husband pulled me on his lap. Get it right. So I love that Toya shut that down, because I was like, Jackie, what show are you watching? Your husband, in front of everybody, you pulled this woman on his lap. There you go again, trying to cover for him. So I like that Toya shut that down and corrected her. I like when Buffy said to Heavenly that because you are not inherently kind, That's why you think everyone else is evil. I was like, yes, Buffy, you better read. And it's true. Listen, I understand, like I said previously, people have to do things for TV, but Heavenly is just too much. Also, when Buffy said, old money whispers and new money jingle, and she was like, Quad jingles and Toya and Mariah is old money, whatever she was saying. And then it's like, don't sleep on Mariah now, just because you don't see her flashing what she does. The woman is the reason why all of you are sitting on that couch. Okay, this is her show. And she also have other shows that she's produced, and she also does things behind the scenes. So, and then of course her husband is a doctor. But yeah, and so that's that. And whatever else that was important that I missed, I will add it into part 3. But once again, thank you all for coming back and following me on this journey and supporting. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm aware that Andy also sat with the men, but they didn't talk about anything that the women didn't talk about. So that's why I didn't really focus on them. There was nothing like groundbreaking or major when the men sat down. So kudos to the men, okay, for supporting their wives. But, it was nothing really major to discuss. But overall, I am wishing everyone the best. And here my final loves. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.